Hey Moji, welcome back to Beamer PhD. I'm your shop foreman Tim, and I want to give you a quick rundown what we have found here on your 2012 BMW X5 with a V8 5.0 motor. So your initial concern why you brought the vehicle to us was that the AC was not turning on, and another shop had replaced the compressor, and it still wasn't working, and it surpassed their technical ability. So what we went ahead and did, before we do anything else, we make sure that the battery and the charging system are working correct. We tested the battery and seen that the battery was in good condition. It was a aftermarket Star battery that was replaced. Now they put in a 105 amp hour battery when the car is programmed for 90 amp hour. It shouldn't really be a problem, but as a detail-oriented shop, we like to put the correct battery, and we don't use aftermarket batteries. We use genuine BMW batteries because we've had too many issues with them. But once the battery tested fine, we went ahead and scanned the fault memory, and let me show you what we found. So here on the computer screen, we can see that the vehicle had multiple codes in all of the modules. This is the heating and air conditioning module they call the IHKA, the automatic air conditioning system. And we have a bunch of codes here that say no message received from the air conditioning module, the DME, which is the engine control module, the junction box electronics, which is basically the gateway. It's like the fuse box that allows them. Also had communication errors between the engine control module, the DME, as well as the rear air conditioning, the FKA, had communication codes as well. Now the important thing that we look at is right here in the engine control module, because all of these control units talk to each other. It's like your network at home. You know, when you have your router, your TV, your printer, your computer, all connect up to it. So the engine control module here was registering a message, a faulty message received from the IHKA, which is the air conditioning module. So what we went ahead and did was clear the codes, and we kept getting messages back for the air conditioning module right here. This is after we cleared all the codes, you can see the main one that came back here was the no message received automatic air conditioning module from the JBE. So what we went ahead and did is pull up the wiring diagram, which basically shows the picture of what's going on. And this is our junction box electronics. So before we can make sure before we can go on with any testing, we wanted to make sure that we had this CAN communication between the two modules clear right here. So we went ahead and tested those with our voltmeter and made sure that the wiring is all proper in the electronics box. All of your fuses are in good shape, and the signal wire between the JBE to the compressor, which is down there, is activating. And that shows us right here on the wiring diagram to be right here. Now, as you can see, it has two options right here. So those two options led us to understand that there are two different compressors that can be fitted onto this car. So we pulled up the parts catalog, and sure enough, it correlates with what the wiring diagram shows. So BMW is indicating that two different compressors fit this car, one without a solenoid clutch and one with a solenoid clutch. And if you notice here, it says check installation in vehicle. So what it wants us to do is see the former one that was pulled out. Now, since the car came to us with the compressor already removed and a new one on, we had no way to identify what was originally on the car. So we had to do some investigation, and here's what we found. When we looked at the part number on the compressor fitted, here's a picture of the compressor fitted. Let me back up, show you what we've got here. This is our inspection report that I believe has been sent to you. If not, we will be sending to you. So this has the label number on it right here, and it identifies that it's a Nissan. So when we went ahead and cross-referenced the Nissan, we can see that the wrong compressor was fitted on the vehicle by the last shop. And I'll demonstrate and show you how here. So this is the Nissan compressor that was fitted, and it actually has a solenoid valve clutch. That's this piece right here. And that basically has a 12-volt on and off signal that it turns the clutch on. Whereas the correct one that should have been installed on the vehicle is this Denso one. And if you notice, this clutch is a little bit different. This is a pulse width modulated clutch. And what pulse width modulation means is instead of having a constant 12-volt signal, it's actually gapping it. Pulse width means that it's varying it, because inside this clutch right here is a swash plate that basically flaps around like this. And that's what makes the compressor activation variable. So, long story short, they put in the wrong compressor. Now, I also have something else to show you that is a cause of concern for us, and I'm gonna have to lift. So I'll pause real quick and I'll show you what I found when we lifted the vehicle. So as Joseph lifts the vehicle here, I do want to remind you the importance of taking your car to the correct doctor, the correct specialist, the correct mechanic. Because even something as simple as an AC compressor installation can be done wrong. Even an oil change can be done wrong. So let me show you what we have underneath the car here. So up there is your AC compressor. And we see the Nissan part number. But as you can see right here, Joseph, can you hold the light for me?
Yeah.
Somebody has done some wiring, right? We can see the wiring right here. I'm going to try to put my hand in here. So they've cut the, oops, there we go. I'm going to tap the center. Yep, they've cut the wires here and they've put in their own wires so that it can fit this connector. And I suspect that when they installed the compressor, the connector was different. So I don't know why they did this. They should have cross-referenced to see if had they got the right compressor, but I'm assuming this was a general repair shop. And they were probably not well versed with what's going on. So after about 8 hours of testing, we have determined that the last shop installed the wrong compressor. So I'm going to revise our invoice to you to cover some of our testing time, and then I'll provide you an estimate for the correct compressor, and we can get your AC working. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call, and thanks for trusting us with your BMW.